Okay, I'm addressing work groups who are producing less labor and devoting less time to work than they were hired for. Um, and so these work groups probably fall into two categories. They're probably either doing um, production deviance or they're doing withdrawal. And one will start with, I think it's withdrawal. It's certainly possible that this is a lack of leadership or incompetent leadership that is leading to this lack of productivity. Um, and so that could look like a couple things for withdrawal. That could look like breaks that are too long, or people showing up late to work and that not being addressed properly, or people leaving work early and that not being addressed. And so this means probably that you either have an incompetent supervisor, a supervisor who's not willing to or capable of addressing these issues the way that they must be addressed, or you're looking at a supervisor who doesn't have the buy-in that you need and therefore doesn't care about the mission of the organization and therefore is allowing these behaviors to exist. These behaviors generally do exist because they're allowed to exist. So these employees have learned this behavior. They're continuing to do the behavior because it has not been addressed properly. And so you're going to see if withdrawal behaviors are not addressed, you're going to see more withdrawal behaviors. And that is just simply because if I can leave early and continue to be paid, that's what I'm going to do. And if I can spend more time at lunch and get back and continue to be paid, that's what I'm going to do. And so that's generally where those withdrawals behaviors are going to be coming from. Then you have production deviance. Production deviance is a little bit more complicated. It can come from several different things, but again, it's generally also the result of lack of competency in leadership positions. So let's look at the ways this can happen. First of all, the workers just show up. They don't work very hard. They're there, but they're not working very hard. That's a poor work ethic. And if that's not being properly addressed, again, that will fester. If you can work not very hard and get paid, again, that's what you're going to do. And so this also happens. We'll look at here's another reason why that happens, is that the leadership that's currently assigned to this work group is not committed to the organization. And so they're also just showing up for the amount of time that they're required and doing the minimum that they feel like they have to do to stay employed, rather than addressing the poor work ethic that's existing in that work group. And so they don't hold standards that the organization would like them to hold. The other possibility is that you've got a leader who has the skills, has the ability, has the work ethic, but just doesn't feel committed to the organization. They're not excited to be part of the organization. They don't like the mission of the organization. And so they are essentially not motivated to hold other people accountable because in the end, they're not committed to the organization, and maybe they would like a job with a different organization. So those are generally the things you're looking for. And again, the main key here is that workers who are hourly employees, things like that, are going to work easier unless they have this natural work ethic. And so the importance of leadership, being committed to the organization, working on behalf of the organization, and having that work ethic themselves, that is super important. If you don't, then your work groups may also suffer.